Dopełniacz. Dopełniacz is a very useful case. Today we will deal mostly with singular nouns, and I'll go into detail when it comes to the use of dopełniacz to show possession. And I should say in the beginning, this course is prepared for the missionaries of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints who are learning Polish and who are serving in Poland, but of course anybody can use it. But I will use the Book of Mormon, and so don't be surprised. As you can see in the przedmowa, in one of the first pages of the Book of Mormon, the dopełniacz form is used many times, and we will come back to this page after our lesson, or at the end of our lesson. Dopełniacz has many uses, mostly three. One of them is possession. When you want to show that something belongs to something or somebody, we use dopełniacz. So, for example, the Book of Mormon. Mormon possesses the book, or the authorship of the book. So we would put Mormon or Mormon in dopełniacz. The Lord's Church, we would put the Lord in dopełniacz because the Lord owns the church. Another time when we use dopełniacz is to show negation. In other words, when we make a negative statement. For example, Laman doesn't like Nephi. Nephi would go to dopełniacz. I don't have patience. Patience would also be used in a dopełniacz form. The devil hates God. The word God would be used in dopełniacz form. You won't convince me. See, it's a negative statement, so the word me would also be in dopełniacz. We also use dopełniacz after specific verbs and prepositions. You just need to know that after certain verbs, for example, after the verb need, potrzebować, whatever follows that verb goes into dopełniacz. So a bike would go into dopełniacz in the phrase, I need a bike. Listen to the bishop. Whatever follows listen to in Polish goes into dopełniacz. So the bishop would go into dopełniacz. Słuchaj biskupa. This is for the sisters. For is a preposition that takes dopełniacz. So for whatever follows for goes into dopełniacz. So the sisters would go into dopełniacz. No salvation without Christ. Whatever follows the preposition without goes into dopełniacz. So let's review mianownik, and let's talk about how we change nouns from mianownik to dopełniacz. First, we need to know that every noun in Polish is either masculine, feminine, or neuter. Okay, those are three genders. And masculine, sometimes, in some cases, it is important if the masculine word is personal or impersonal. So we will make the distinction between masculine personal and masculine impersonal. So these are the three genders. In mianownik, in words like missionarz, Mormon, or book, these are masculine personal nouns because they are people. Words like samochód or komputer are also masculine, but they are not personal because they are not people. So as you can see, every masculine noun in Polish ends with a consonant. So if you open a dictionary and you find a noun that ends with any consonant, that means it's a masculine noun. Feminine nouns end with the letter A, and sometimes with the letter ni, or even chi. Okay, like the word przyjaźń or miłość. These are feminine nouns, and they word with a or ni. And we're simplifying here, so I didn't add the ending chi because that happens not very often. So if you see a word in a dictionary that ends with an a, it means it's a noun, it's a feminine noun. Nouns that are neuter end with an o. For example, dziecko or krzesło. So this is a mianownik, this is the basic form. Now, how do we change it to dopełniacz? The masculine nouns don't have an ending. They end with a consonant. In other words, they don't have an ending in mianownik. So when we want to change it to dopełniacz, we basically added the ending, and in case of masculine personal nouns, we just add the ending a. Okay, so instead of missionarz, we say missionarza. Instead of Mormon, we say Mormona. And instead of book, we say Boga. And as you could see, the O or the U was changed to O. Don't ask me why. I guess it would be just crazy to leave U there. So sometimes you have to change U to O when you change it to dopełniacz. Another example, the next is the masculine impersonal, like in the words samochód or komputer, and in dopełniacz you just add u or a, and every word you just have to remember that this word takes a and this word takes u. Okay, it's you can't choose. You just have to remember that samochód takes u, but komputer takes a. So you say samochodu or komputera. Okay, and you notice that samochód also we drop the kreska over o. Okay, for feminine nouns, we drop the ending a, or in the word przyjaźń, which means friendship, we drop the ni, and we add the ending I or e. And if I were you, I would not worry about whether it's I or e, whether it's a y or I, because they sound very similar. And in some words, it just sounds right when you say siostry instead of siostri. It just comes naturally, in a way. I guess for me as a native speaker, but so I and e sound very similar. So instead of siostra, we say siostry. Instead of przyjaźń, we say przyjaźni. And neuter takes the ending a, just like the masculine personal. So instead of dziecko, we drop the ending o, and we add the ending a. So we have dziecka. Instead of krzesło, we have krzesła. So that's how we form dopełniacz for nouns, because we're only discussing nouns. So let's go over some examples that show possession. Possession, I would say that anything in English where you could use the word of, whatever follows of, in Polish you put it in dopełniacz. So for example, the Book of Mormon, in Polish it's Księga Mormona. The Lord's Church, okay? In other words, it's the Church of the Lord. So the Lord would go into dopełniacz. Kościół Pana. Okay, I'm going to pause now, so you can say it out loud, the Polish translation. Okay, how would you say a mission car? Okay, so the car that belongs to the mission. How would you say it? Samochód misji, because misja is feminine, right? In mianownik it ends with an a. So that means it's feminine, and you just add a e, because see, it's already soft at the end, misi, so you know that it takes e instead of I. Okay, another example, branch council. How would you say branch council in Polish? In other words, it's a council of the branch. So council in Polish is rada, Branch in Polish is gmina. So how would you say branch council? Rada gminy, right? Because gmina goes into dopełniacz. Christ's atonement, or the atonement of Christ. So Christ, the word Christ, goes into dopełniacz. How would you say it? Zadośćuczynienie Chrystusa. Inhabitants of a continent. In the one of the first pages of the Book of Mormon, this phrase is used: the inhabitants of the American continent. I think in English it just says the inhabitants of Americas, but in Polish it was translated inhabitants of the American continent. So inhabitants in Polish is mieszkańcy, and how would you say inhabitants of a continent? The word continent in Polish is kontynent in mianownik, but how would you say it in dopełniacz? Mieszkańcy kontynentu, not continenta. If you said continenta, you were wrong, but you were thinking right. You just have to remember the word continent takes the ending u instead of a. So you just like komputera takes komputera, but samochodu, samochód takes u. The spirit of prophecy and revelation. Okay, this is a longer phrase. How would you say the spirit of prophecy and revelation? Duch proroctwa I objawienia. See, both prophecy and revelation go into dopełniacz because it's the spirit of prophecy and the spirit of revelation. The appearance of the Lord Jesus Christ. See, all three words, Lord, Jesus, and Christ, go into dopełniacz because it's the appearance of the Lord, the appearance of the Lord, the appearance of Jesus, and the appearance of Christ. So how would you say it in Polish? The word appearance in Polish is ukazanie się. So how would you say the appearance of the Lord Jesus Christ? Ukazanie się Pana Jezusa Chrystusa. It's very simple because look, all these three words are masculine personal, right? Because the Lord, Jesus, and Christ, I almost said are, but is a person. So it just takes all these three words take the ending a. Pana Jezusa Chrystusa. Teachings of the gospel. How would you say it in Polish? Nauki Okay. Look, in mianownik, the word gospel is feminine because it has an a at the end. Evangelia. So how would you say Ewangelia in dopełniacz? Nauki Ewangelii. So you just add an e. You drop the a and you add an I. Okay, so let's open the Book of Mormon, and I just want to show you just in these first three paragraphs of this page of Przedmowa, how many times the words are put in dopełniacz because they show possession. So, of course, the first one is Mormona. We already discussed it, Księga Mormona. The inhabitants of a continent, mieszkańcami kontynentu. See, the spirit of prophecy and revelation. We already discussed it. We didn't talk about the endings of the... we only talk about singular, not plural. But there are also three words here, at least three words that take dopełniacz, but they are in plural. And the plural masculine takes ów. So look, the nations of the Nephites, of the Lamanites, of the Jaredites. See, Nephitów, Lamanitów, Jeredów. Okay, we've got the Book of Mormon again, and the appearance of the Lord, of Jesus, of Christ. The Book of Mormon, the teachings of the Gospel, nauki Ewangelii, and another very useful phrase, the plan of salvation, plan zbawienia. Zbawienie is neuter, so it takes the ending a.